When I was in third grade, I was told by the teacher that I was behind on my reading level in comparison to the rest of the class. With a note sent home and arrangements for some special private instruction, I had interpreted that to mean that the teacher said, Connor can't read. When I was in sixth grade, I took a math test. And when the test was returned to me, the top of the test said, "Please see me after class." I had failed. And after a discussion with the teacher, we kind of determined that math wasn't really my strong suit, and that with a little work, maybe it would be okay. When I got to seventh grade, I turned in a writing assignment. And when the writing assignment came back to me on the bottom, it said, "Wow, keep on writing." Feeling pretty proud of myself and happy with my achievement, I immersed myself in these practices of writing, learning as much as I could about semantics and grammar and syntax. I was listening to videos and trying to learn what I could to be the best writer I could be, because this teacher told me to keep writing and that I was good. I was so fortunate and blessed to have that same seventh grade teacher again in 12th grade. And still, she encouraged me and pushed me, even altering some assignments to make them more challenging for me, or making my page limit a little bit longer so I could say a little bit more. She was celebrating and encouraging everything that I did. The little assignments that I would turn in would come back with encouraging notes. The 20-page research papers would come back with encouraging notes. When I would raise my hand in class, she would celebrate my participation, and she encouraged me to keep on writing. There's a couple reasons I tell this story today, and one of them is that for about 10 years of my life, I didn't read for fun. I would skim and read when I had to for school. I would try to find the movie version if I could. But I avoided reading because I thought that my third grade teacher told me that I could not read. Another thing I stumbled upon recently was I found some of those essays from seventh grade when I was writing. I've reread them, and they were terrible. They were so awful. Worst writing I have ever submitted. But sure enough, on the bottom of every single one, wow, keep on writing. Started to make sense of this recently when I realized what this teacher was doing. She was lifting me up and encouraging me because she knew the struggles I was having everywhere else. I was striking out in reading class. I was striking out in math class. I was quite literally striking out on the baseball field. And she saw an opportunity to celebrate my small victories and encourage me to work more. If she wouldn't have told me to keep on writing, there is no chance that I would be standing right here today, speaking right now. There's a best-selling author and entrepreneur named Gary Vaynerchuk who tells the story all the time of a time when he was 8 years old and was going into a McDonald's for lunch with his mother. And on the way into the restaurant, he held the door for a woman holding a child coming in behind them. For the rest of the day, Gary's mother celebrated and cheered him on about how proud she was of the young man he was becoming and how holding the door was one of the greatest acts he could have achieved in that moment. And to this day, Gary still goes out of his way to hold doors for people because he remembers the feeling of pleasing his mother and making her happy, and how that brought him joy to see her celebrate his actions, the smallest of actions. Why? Why is this important, and why would I say this all today? Well, the main reason is that I had sat down a few years ago to finally read a book for fun, determined and eager. I started turning the pages and I read the whole thing. It turns out I can read. In that same year, I started reading more liturgy at church and speaking out loud. And again, it turns out that I can read pretty well. I had believed what I thought I was told. I had seen the writing on the paper that had discouraged me, and I believed it. I believed what I saw. Second reason for telling this story today is that I never said thank you to that 7th grade teacher. See, we have this problem today in society that I've started to kind of see and realize over the last couple years, and that is we don't celebrate people enough. There are 2 major times that we celebrate people: when they retire and when they die. And that, to me, is so frustrating that you have to wait 65, 70, 90 years for anybody to tell you thank you, or to tell you the impact they've made on you, or to celebrate your accomplishments. I will never be inducted into a Hall of Fame of any kind, but if you've ever heard a Hall of Fame induction speech, you will hear some wonderful words about the inductee. The type of words that make everybody's eyes fill with water and tears and their throats start to swell. The kind of words that make you happy to have interacted with the person and that makes that person feel happy to be alive. Sure, we have birthdays and graduation parties, but how often are we celebrating the person and celebrating the impact that they had on us? Certainly not enough. Now, I don't say this because I want or need constant affirmation or constant praise or to be celebrated, but when I think about Thomas in the story that we just read, I think about how Thomas had another chance. Thomas had another chance to see, to thank, and to celebrate his teacher. And it wasn't too late. See, Thomas was also doing the seeing is believing test as he touched the wounds in Jesus to make sure it was him. The wounds that I had never touched because I was told that I couldn't read and I believed it. Thomas is not quite ready to believe it. Thomas wants to explore the wounds. He wants to ask for 3 forms of identification from Jesus just to make sure that it's true. Thomas is not ready to live a life off of a lie. Thomas is getting an opportunity that none of us will ever have. Ever. He freezes still, and everything he knew and knows about life and death has been altered and shattered, and Thomas stands in front of his great teacher and mentor, and he wonders and he thinks and he believes. He believes the truth in what he sees. He has an opportunity to celebrate the life of the one who taught him to walk in his way. I had years and years to believe and try to understand my wounds. Thomas gets a mere matter of seconds. Now those who believed were full, and there was not a needy person among them. They were able to think and celebrate their teacher just one more time, and their lives were better because they believed in their mentor. Wow. Keep on writing. Keep on writing. Thank you. Thank you, Bon Air Presbyterian Church, for everything you've done for me in my first year of service with you. Every single one of you has been a teacher and a mentor to me, whether you know it or not, whether we've met face to face or not. I thank you, and I want to celebrate you now. I want to celebrate with you now as you think and celebrate your great teachers and mentors that maybe you did or did not have an opportunity to celebrate. I want to celebrate with you. And I want to thank Ms. Valentine from 7th grade class. She doesn't know that she did it. She maybe knew what she was doing, but knew that I wouldn't know for years to come. Simple wow is what kept me writing. And being told I was behind in reading pulled me down. Believing the truth and believing what you're seeing, believing what you act upon and what you will do, and ignoring the wounds, but examining them and trusting in the wonderful process of the Lord is all that we can do. Let us celebrate. Let us celebrate the actions. Let us celebrate the act, and let us celebrate each other now and forevermore. And don't forget to say thank you. Amen. Amen.